Hello and welcome to another Carter Two Wheels motorcycle review. Today I have here a 2015 model Kawasaki Z800. First things first, a couple of quick specs on the bike. It comes with a 800cc inline 4 motor, producing somewhere around 112-115 brake horsepower. Wet weight, it comes in at about 230-228 kg. A lot of people say that is a fairly heavy motorcycle for what it is. However, I can assure you on the road you're not really going to notice it. The only place I've ever really noticed the weight is in tight twisty stuff like 25-35k corners. Other than that, it handles fairly well for its size. The motor is a very nice, very smooth unit. It picks up well from anywhere from about 2,500 RPM. You have good, smooth, usable power. Power really starts to come in from about 6,000 onwards. As you can see down here, you've got a fuel gauge, temperature gauge up the top, speedo, all the basics. Again, for a bike of this age, the only thing it is lacking is a gear indicator. This is becoming quite a standard feature now on a lot of bikes, so it would be nice to have one added in the future. The factory exhaust, not a bad looking unit, does the job fairly well. It does have a one of those little twisty valves in it that will open depending on the revs and throttle position. Suspension wise, it's pretty good, pretty basic, but it does the job nicely for this bike. You won't have any problems if you are a spirited rider on the road. As far as the track is concerned, you may want to look at upgrading it at some point. One of my favourite features about this bike would have to be the seat. As you can see, it has all the little Z's on it, all the little Z symbols. I just think that's a really neat feature. Factory tyres that these bikes come with are pretty average. They're a bit covered in mud at the moment. I'm sitting up here at the top of Scenic Drive out in West Auckland. What I was actually trying to do is get out to the little lookout right at the top there. I'll just put the camera on it. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a muddy day and the bike didn't go very far. So we're down here in the car park. Any questions you have on this motorcycle, if you're looking at purchasing one yourself, feel free to place a comment and I'll answer as soon as I can. I've probably done a couple thousand Ks on this bike, and that was a mixture of both commuting and weekend touring. The only modification I quickly made to this bike after purchasing it was I found that the factory gearing was extremely short. As I say, the motor picks up from about 2,500 RPM. And at motorway speeds, 100-110k an hour, it was sitting somewhere around 4.5, close to 5,000 RPM, which I found was really excessive, being where the motorcycle makes its power. So I've changed the rear sprocket. I have gone down 5 teeth on the back sprocket. I'm now running a 40-tooth rear. It's quite a large change. For solo riding or any out of town, even 2-up, it's much nicer. It's gone from sort of about 180 k's to getting the fuel light on to a tank. Now I'm getting somewhere around 230 k's before the fuel light comes on. Keeping in mind, once the fuel light's on, you'll probably still get maybe another 30 or 40 k's before you've got to stress. The only thing I've noticed with that change in the gearing is if you are 2-up and you're doing things like hill starts in the city, it's a little bit sluggish in first getting off the line, but once you are moving, the gearing is fantastic. It still pulls all the gears really nicely. 6th gear from about 70k an hour is nice and smooth. In a 50k zone, I'll still ride around in 4th and 5th gear everywhere, and the motor is really smooth doing that. If you wanted to overtake a car or go up a hill or anything like that, you might want to change back to 4th, but it's still happy and smooth in 5th. Yeah, other than that, feel free to ask some questions, comment, hit like, do whatever you feel like. And there will be more reviews coming shortly on other motorcycles. Cheers.